And that's a wrap, everybody, on today's episode. Wrong video. Welcome to the Diversity Connector podcast, where we explore the rich tapestry of human experiences. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the country on which we meet today. I would also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. And together, as we dive into conversations that bridge cultures, challenge stereotypes, and celebrate the unique perspectives each of us brings to the table. Each episode is a journey through stories and insights from a kaleidoscope of voices, each sharing their colorful narrative. Whether you're at home, on the go, or just anywhere in between, you're now part of a community that values understanding, inclusivity, and the beauty of diversity. So plug in your headphones, get comfortable, and let's connect through the power of our shared stories. Welcome, and thank you for joining us on the Diversity Connector podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Diversity Connector. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of my co-host. Angela, please introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are.
Hello, and thank you, Gertrude. Welcome, everyone. My name is Anjali Marshall, and I am bringing you lots of sunshine from Los Angeles, California. I'm very excited to be here and very excited to meet our guest today. I think everyone is in for quite a treat and very excited.
Thank you. And just so that everybody knows what the Mom Agency is all about, just give people a snippet of what's coming and how you and I came together and how we're collaborating with this.
So the Mom Agency was formed out of frustration, but so much love for moms. So Gertrude and I both have very common experiences when it comes to work and working in the job market, either being told no because of being overqualified, being told no because we are moms, because we are too much of a mom. Yes, someone actually said that to me. But either way, the frustration led us together. And we decided, you know what, if someone is not giving us the opportunities that we want, and we see that other women are experiencing that, we will create those opportunities. And so this all started with my sister Gertrude saying, you need to start an agency. And I said, you need to do it with me. And so here we are doing this together. So the goal for the Mom Agency is very, very simple. We are here to help two groups of women. The first is moms who are returning to the job market. They've been raising their families, their babies, and they still want to be somewhat at home and be available to their families, but they want to make financial contributions to their families. And we want to give them opportunities as virtual assistants to do that. These women are coming from around the world, and it's amazing because we all have very common stories. The other side is women, Black and Brown owned female businesses, and other as well. But it's so cool that we are all women. They own these businesses who just want to support moms and have moms work for them because they see the value that moms bring to any business, because we are the backbone of the family. We help to build the family. We create the calendar invites. We maintain the calendars, the budgets. We make sure everyone is taken care of. And so we have the capabilities to do that and to grow a business efficiently and make it sustainable. So the Mom Agency puts these two amazing groups together and creates opportunities for both. So we're proud, we're honored in what we're doing. I think what I'm most honored is that we're able to serve globally. I'm
Mhm.
very excited about that.
Well, then that brings us to our podcast guest for today, an absolutely fascinating woman who I interviewed a few days ago, actually, on the Her
Mhm.
Story podcast. And we welcome her back as we celebrate powerful women who are using their voice to rewrite the rules. Today's guest is a force behind the wheel of purpose and change. I'd love you to meet Sharnese Johnson, the founder and CEO of Extra Care Transportation, a thriving medical transport company that serves underserviced communities in Washington, D.C. As one of the few Black women leading in this space, Sharnese has shattered all stereotypes and built a business that is rooted in compassion, equity, and legacy. She's also the creator of the bold and transformative Take the Wheel framework, a model that helps women break the rules, shift the gears, and drive lives they didn't need to escape from. So get ready for a conversation about resilience, leadership, and what happens when you stop waiting for permission and start driving your own destiny. Let's dive into her story. Janice, it gives me great pleasure. Welcome to the tribe, my sister.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So let's dive into your story,
Mhm.
how you got to where you are, how you have done what you've done in very, very difficult circumstances in a space where very few women lead.
Mhm.
Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
What was it like navigating leadership as a woman in an industry where very few looked like you?
It's a very tough task. Um, you have to, as a woman in this industry, you have to put your best foot forward. You have to take the no's and turn them into on. Every time someone tells you no, you have to look at it as okay, that's okay. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do that way. Okay, it's on now for me because you know that you can. So where there's men in the industry who just have to show up as a woman in the industry and as a leader in the industry, not only do you have to show up, but you have to show up with your head held high. You have to show up with your knowledge to let them know, I know what I'm doing in this industry. You have to show up and be ready. And it's kind of hard to do that when you're overshadowed in an industry of men. But I own the room every time I walk in it because I know what I am doing. And it took a lot of research. It took a lot of, I know that I can. It took a lot of closed doors with me peeking through the windows, peeking to see, okay, is this a room or a door that I really want to go through? Are those glass ceilings that I really want to shadow those glass ceilings, or do I want to move on? And that's what I have had to endure, but I did it because I knew this is my passion. And I knew that I can do just as the male in the industry, I can do the same thing. And I don't have to be behind the wheel in order to do it. I'm driven just by my passion.
So now you're at a point where you are scaling your business
Hmm.
and you're bringing on new people. And Julia, I know you've got some questions around what are your needs? Dive in there.
Yes. As you do start to scale your business, first of all, I think congratulations are in order. Any
Thank
woman
you.
who's able to scale her business, especially in a male dominated arena, that's a
Hmm.
really big deal. So,
Thank
congratulations
you.
on that.
Hmm.
So, we want to talk with you about, well, first, I want to talk with you about what it is that you're looking for when it comes to scaling. What would help you uh, as a business owner?
Hmm.
What would help you to actually scale? Because obviously, we we specialize in bringing CEOs together with virtual assistants. Is that something that would help your business? And if so, how?
Having a virtual assistant in any business is helpful. Okay. And the reason that is, in my business, although I'm not per se driving, I still travel because that's part of me scaling my business, getting myself out there, being visible. However, the business still has to operate. It still has to run. I'm not always able to send out emails. I'm not always able to answer a call or send out a form. Having a virtual assistant does that, helps with that. And the greatest thing about that is that person doesn't have to be with me, does not have to be in my office. They can do it right from their home. So having a virtual assistant, it helps your business grow as you're growing. Because if you don't have a virtual assistant, or you don't have any type of assistance or a team with you as you're scaling, and you're trying to wear all of the hats, because I know I'm one who wore all of the hats and it was so hard.
Yep.
It kind of pauses your business because you have to stop to make sure all of these things are done. Then you start by doing something else.
Now, I know that when you give presentations and talks, you often talk about unlearning the rules that society places on women of color. What are some of those rules and how did you break them?
One of the main thing that, and it just really just, it hurts me because we're looked at as, you're a nurturer. You have to be at home. Your place is at home. Okay. You're a woman of color. We always looked at as, you've always been in the field. You've always had to follow. That's the perception that we have as women of color. I have to fight that because I have to let others know. Once again, it's always letting others know that I can, that I'm doing it. I have to show them that in my leadership role, that I have those listening skills. I have those organizational skills. I don't have to be the one, behind you in order to operate, or in order for things to function, because everybody feels like we should be behind something or someone. That we're not allowed to show our faces. We're not allowed to show who we are. We're not allowed to express who we are, because if we do that, we're too emotional.
Yeah.
But the truth and the reality is, without me and my skill set and that nurturing, that motherhood, that who I am, without all of that, a lot of things today would not be as they are, because it took those organizational skills of a woman. It took that coming from behind something or someone to say, let's try it this way. Let's give you a new outlook on things.
Sure. Sharnese, what would you say is your zone of genius? And then what areas of expertise would virtual assistants need to have to work with you so that you are free to flow in your zone of genius?
One thing that I would love for a virtual assistant to have is research capabilities. Okay. I do government contracting. So I'm up early mornings up until maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'm researching contracts that are out there, but I'm researching entities, what they need, what have they done in the past, to see if I want to work with them. One, the research is very important. Two, knowing how to put together documents, a letter, composing letters that are professional. Understanding wording, because sometimes we can create documents in how we speak. But I need them to be professional enough that it's understood and to the point of what I need, what I'm doing, what I'm looking for. This is what I want to accomplish. and someone other than, putting together, composing a letter, being able to research, and someone who's able to get the job done in a timely manner. I have time restraints on certain things. I have deadlines on a lot of things that I have to get done. Government contracting, there are time frames and deadlines that we have to meet. Documents have to be in at a certain time. If I'm not there to do that, I have to make sure that who is submitting those documents on my behalf, not only are they composed right, but they have been submitted on time, because that's where my company grows. That's how I'm able to be financial. That's how I'm able to pay them. As long as I am able to submit those documents on time, and that those that I'm submitting them to are, they're looking and say, well, she's very professional. Her work ethics are there. They're willing to work with me. They're willing to give me the business that I'm looking for.
Right. Now, I know that you have multiple roles that you are wanting to fill as you grow and scale.
Mm-hmm.
The administrative assistance is one. You
Mm-hmm.
talked about a dispatcher,
Mm-hmm.
HR support,
Mm-hmm.
an event coordinator, the marketing support, the social media management,
Mm-hmm.
the vendor coordinator. Let's give us a breakdown of what's expected in each of those roles, starting with your dispatcher.
Okay. As a dispatcher, my dispatchers are required to work with my drivers.
Mm-hmm.
They need to know each driver, know their roles, know their routes.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be able to, if someone calls to ask, where is this person? We're able to look on our system, on our software, to identify this is the driver, this is their location, without having to scroll through. We can find that person. You have to know the drivers just as I have to know the drivers. Non-emergency medical transportation is not all that I do. I do student transportation as well. And I have school buses. So, of course, it's very important that parents in a school district know where's my child.
Absolutely.
My dispatcher needs to be very familiar with the software that we use, so that they can then relate to the school district, relate to that parent. Your child is here. This is expected. This is the ETA. My dispatcher has to be able to communicate with the drivers that are also driving. We need you to pick up this load, or we need you to reroute yourself.
Okay.
Mhm.
What about your HR support? What do you need in terms of human resources?
HR support. With my HR support team or staff, they do interviews. I'm the last resort. I'm the one that says the yes or no, but I need someone who can vet before it comes to me.
Okay.
Someone who can identify potential candidates, not just based upon their experience, but based upon using those listening skills, listening for certain attributes of that person.
Yeah.
Certain things to say, I don't think that's going to be a good fit. Being able to make sure that our legal documents that have to be signed, that employee or the contingent employee signs those documents properly, and that we get them done in time.
Yes.
My employee handbook, my trainings, that's my HR staff.
Right.
It's very important. We need to train them. They need to know how the company operates, what to expect of us as their employer. My HR team has to be able to interpret that to my new hires.
That is amazing. Now, events. I know you run a number of events.
Mm-hmm.
You run events for your staff. You run events for your mentees. What skills does your event coordinator need to have?
Scheduling. Knowing how to schedule is very important. Keeping up with the calendar. Yeah. Not overlapping me with events, with trainings, etc. Knowing how to reach out to vendors, other vendors outside of the ones that we welcome to our events. Reaching out to our caterers. Making sure, if this is going to be on a menu, is this acceptable? Are you able to do this? Advertising. On my events team, they still have to be able to advertise.
Yes.
Knowing how to advertise. And that may mean sending out emails. That may mean you're out somewhere and you have to mention the event to someone. That's advertising for me. Not being afraid to talk to others.
And even securing those venues too, right? Wherever you're going to have those events.
Yes. My events coordinator, one of them that I have now, because she's doing the decorations for one of my upcoming events, she has to speak with the venue.
Yeah.
Are we going the lighting? What is that like? She has to go and do a visit, a walkthrough of the location to understand, to know where things are going to be positioned. So that's the part of the events coordinator's position. Mm-hmm.
A lot of multitasking there. Mm-hmm. And Dula, what are the other three positions that we had highlighted?
So I think that we touched on it a little bit. You were talking about a bit of marketing in one of these positions as well. Do you see the events and your marketing person kind of overlapping that responsibility, or are those two separate positions?
And all in all, this is separate, because for my marketing, it's not just the events, it's my business. I have to remain visible. It's not just a women, wealth, and wellness or a back to school drive. It's having other hospitals, school districts, other private paid clients to see me and know who I am and know that I'm out there. I have to be visible. So I need someone to be able to post on my social media. Even if it's just a video, even if it's just a flyer that was created, still posting about the business itself, not just an event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I can actually see now the separation between the two. Mm-hmm. The events person needs to be there with you. They're very much a hands-on, in-person job role, whereas your marketing can be a remote individual somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Okay, very, very different.
As social media can too.
Yes. Right? All that can be done from home, social media, marketing. And I see marketing and social media, those two go hand in hand, because social media is so big now. That's where a lot of businesses thrive, because a lot of people are there.
Yes.
So a lot of the marketing is going to be focused on through social media. You have to be social media savvy, knowing when to post, how to reach audiences, what type of post, things like that, to be able to make sure my marketing is done proficiently, efficiently, and done well.
And I'll tell you, that is a skill set.
It is.
That is a skill
really
set.
Hard to do.
It's not easy to do it. And I found that as a business owner, it's one of the things that I like to do the least. I just don't enjoy it. No. It's not my zone of genius. So it's really great when you're able to allow somebody to work in their zone of genius so that you're free to run your company.
Exactly.
And Sharnese, what about there was one more position. It's the vendor coordinator or the vendor coordination. Can you talk a little bit about that and explain what that is?
So what I ask for vendor coordination is when we have events, I like to have other businesses, when we say Women, Wealth, and Wellness is one of the events. I like for other women to come and showcase their businesses.
I love that.
So my vendor coordinator is going to reach out. They have to be able to advertise, to recruit other vendors, to say, we have an event. This is what we're looking for. That person also needs to be able to vet the vendors. I need to know, is this a legitimate business, or is this really a person who this is their passion? They have products or services to really offer. Be able to find them. If or if they don't have a major presence, I need you to ask those questions. How can we help you to, have you more visible? What is it that we can do? What can we provide? So we have a checklist. Ask these questions. It's not just having a table and 2 chairs. This is their first event. What is it? Some things that they may need that we may be able to provide to help them be successful. So that's my vendor coordinator, working with the vendors for the events to make sure that they have what they need.
And you had talked about the list, on this list, the person that needs to be there with you in person, the event coordinator, correct? That
Correct.
everyone else is pretty much virtual.
Virtual.
Mm.
So then my question to you is, what is your preference as a business owner? Do you prefer that your VAs come from the US, or do you care where they're coming from as long as they're able to do the job?
If they're able to do the job.
That's good.
Would I prefer someone that's in the US? Well, of course I would. Would I prefer someone that's near me, that even though they're working from home, we meet in person? Of course. But if you can get the job done and that I'm not losing within my business and that I am consistently growing because you are there and your skill sets are allowing me to grow, I don't care what living room you're sitting in.
Sure.
It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. Now, let me go back a little bit to talking about you and how you've done this.
Mm-hmm.
How did your identity as a woman and a Black entrepreneur influence the way that you build Extra Care Transportation?
It's so funny. People, and I'm going to say it was a younger group of young girls, because I do student transportation. And I was driving. I was an alternate driver one day. I had a driver that I was out, and I couldn't fill the driver position that fast. So I went ahead and I started driving.
Right.
These young girls, they said, Miss Johnson, what do you do? Do you just drive? And I told them, I said, no, I own the business. And one of them said, you a Black lady and you own a transportation company.
Wow.
And I was just driving, but trying not to smile. But in my mind, I was thinking, do you see the impact that you have?
Yeah.
Justin.
It's amazing.
And these were middle school kids. And the other one said, I want to own my own business one day.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, and we started to have a conversation about how I did it, and talking to them that you're going to run into things in your life that's going to be so hard on you, but you have to understand that you can get through them. And we just conversed, and they were like really into it. Well, what do we do this? And how do you do this? Well, what do you do? And it made me feel like, you have a lot to do, but you are needed. You are necessary.
Yeah.
Your voice is needed. Your story is needed.
Yes.
And for those young girls to see you being the example of what's possible,
Mm-hmm.
I think we as Black women need to be showing up more.
We do.
Yeah.
Agreed.
For our young girls,
Mm-hmm.
especially. We need to give them something positive to look up to and look forward to.
Yeah, that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
I love that I believe that showing up so that we are visible is so extremely important. But Sharnese, I also love that it's more than just the presence.
Mm-hmm.
It's you diving in as a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk really briefly about why, because you talk with us a bit about mentorship and why it's so important to you, and that story just mirrors that. So why is mentorship so important to you? Because you're not just visually there, because that could be like a facade. No, you're actually in the community doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As I told Gertrude, when I started in transportation, I had no one to show me.
Mm-hmm.
Even I started up under another young lady who had her transportation business. And I was trying to find myself. I left corporate America. I left my job. I packed up, here's the laptop, I'm leaving. But I was trying to find out what it is that I really wanted to do. And as I was trying to figure that out and doing Uber and Lyft and was working with her, I gained a client, and it was something that made me understand that you're needed within the community. This is a great need, getting the elderly and disabled back and forth.
Mm.
I asked those questions, those how can I questions, what do I need to do? They were not always given. They were very vague answers and responses. oftentimes when you're working with someone in their business, of course, their business takes precedence to them. It's not always, okay, I'll sit down and I'll show you how. Never one of those. I had to figure it out on my own. My success came from hard work, 18 hours a day working, researching on my own, driving. I drove for 4 years by myself before I was able to hire to bring anyone on. So to me, for mentoring, my mentorship program, I designate time. Even though I'm a business owner, yes, I want to be successful. Yes, I'm, growing, but I'm not a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to come behind me to feel that this is so hard that I can't do it, because I don't have anyone to ask those hard questions, to show me, to tell me where to go and research. If there's something that I'm missing, I don't know.
Now, you told me an interesting story about the gatekeepers, and I think this is something we need to discuss in this podcast as well. A lot of times the gatekeepers look like us. We have women of color in positions of color who are not creating extra chairs around the table for their peers to follow. Tell us your experience with your mentor, who, in a sense, she did mentor you for you to break into the industry. Take us back to that story. I think it's really interesting what you experienced and what made you so determined to create this business.
So as I said, when I started, I left for corporate America. I was doing Uber and Lyft. My first thought was to own or open back up my in-home daycare. I owned the in-home daycare in 2007, 2008. That was my first thought. Okay, I wanted to start a daycare business again. However, when I acquired my own clients through this transportation business, working up under this other young lady, and I felt that this is something that I wanted to do, I asked, how do I do scheduling? How do I, set up my own clients? What is it that I need to get out and go and to market myself? What am I looking for? The answers didn't come in a form of a blueprint. Here are the steps. It was, all you have to do is this. It was, I'll talk to you about it later. I'm headed to a client. It was, is this really something you want to do? And to me, that made me feel that, okay, if Sharnese, if this is something that you want to do, you have to do it. You want to do this on your own.
Right.
That turned me from a driver to a business owner to a leader, because I took that, no one is going to help me do it. No one is here to help me do it, but I want to do it. I want to be successful. I took what was given to me, whether it was minimal or not. I took those things and I used it for research. I used it as mistakes. Whatever those mistakes that I made, because I didn't know everything. I used my mistakes and I wrote those mistakes down, and I found out, what is it? How can I do this? So how can I change the narrative?
Yeah.
And that's what changed me from, again, the driver to the business owner. And now the mentor, the business coach, because I knew what it took to get to where I am. And I knew how hard it was to ask others to help. This is what I want to do. Hey, what's the blueprint? How do I do this? Many people want to tell you, because as I said to Gertrude, many people are climbing that ladder. They have others that are coming up behind them. But instead of taking that hand to reach up, one hand to reach down to grab someone, and one hand to reach up to kind of grab that next step, they're using their foot. Okay, I'm going to stop you because you're getting too close to my goal. And that's a major problem that I have, because when I get to the top, I'm there by myself if I don't have anybody else.
Right.
And that's not where I want to be. It's to the top by myself.
So you're putting up a very as you can as you are climbing that ladder. I absolutely love that.
Mhm.
It's an amazing attitude.
Sharnese,
Wow.
what do you think would have been different? What do you think would be different today had that mentor actually not stepped on the opportunity to help you, but had she actually taken that opportunity and really helped you?
I probably would have been more successful faster.
Mm.
A lot of things that I missed that I didn't know, that when I found them out, I said, if only I had known this before. It was so
Right.
easy. This is all it took.
Mm.
But when you don't know, that journey is so long,
Mm.
so tedious, so stressful, and so discouraging.
Yeah.
And what was the turning point for you when you realized that now you're on a completely different level? What kind of an income were you getting before, and what kind of income did you get after you created your own business?
And I tell others, it's a journey to get to where I am. It took a lot of hard work. I started my first couple of years, maybe 30, 40, $50,000. I moved to about 150 to $190,000 up to 2000, up to last year. I may have reached $200,000. I did government contracting and I bid on the contract. And one contract turned me into a multi-million-dollar company.
It's amazing.
It took the hard work. I didn't stop, but I decided to do something different in order to that changed my life completely. I did not stay in the normal lane. So my business took off for me. It blew my mind. I tell people it put me in a state of shock.
Yeah.
I won the contract and I was excited, but it wasn't until I received that first payment in 1 month that I sat back and I said, wow. My daughter said, Mom, did you see that check you received? And I told her, I'm still looking at it.
I'm still looking at it.
I'm still looking at it.
That is beautiful.
And I today, and I tell others, you can become a multimillionaire yourself.
Yeah.
Don't let society dictate
yeah
who you are and
That's
what
great.
you're going to be, where you're going to be.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Sharnese, when I know women are going to, I know because Gertrude and I are both like, I have the goosebumps. So I'm just so excited for all that is ahead for you and your company, because I know that you are going to blow up even more. You're going to grow even more. I'm so excited for that. How soon, when women are watching this and I know they're going to say, I want to work for her. I want to work for her. Tell us how soon you're wanting to start hiring VAs. How soon are you willing or wanting to do that?
Within the next week or two. I have school starts back the 1st of August. I have 3 school districts. Not just schools, but districts. Yeah. And I have several schools that I transport for within those districts. I'm trying to make my business a little more proficient. There are areas within my business that I feel that if I had someone that had that creative side of them, to say, okay, Sharnese, I can create this app for you online. I can create this document for you to make this. Someone who has that eye to see what I'm not seeing. Because I told Gertrude, I'm always learning. I don't know it all. Somebody else sees something that I don't see.
Yeah.
And if they're willing to tell me to say, if you create this app and if you do this will make this a little better, let's try it.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That's great.
The technology is out there. Now, the other side that excites me about your expansion plans is your mentees. How soon do you want to bring them on, and what can they expect? I know that you want to grow future leaders, women who are looking for a business opportunity where they get started, being handheld and shown how to get into the transportation business. And like you said, it doesn't have to be transformation. It could be another male-dominated environment
Sure.
that they might want to transition into. Tell us a little bit about that.
I always have mentees. I still have people calling and sending me messages on Facebook. Can I set up a call with you? Even if they just want to know government contracting, if they want to know how to break into transportation. I still have them who have their own transportation businesses, want to know how to grow.
Yes.
I'm always accepting mentees. I'm actually putting together a mentorship. I have boot camps that I offer. They're 6-week boot camps, but I'm putting together a mentorship program that will start, I believe, the first week in August. Where we're going to take it a little further, that I'm going to assist my mentees with contacting their clients. You're gonna listen to me talk to them, and then you're going to go and talk to your clients, introducing yourselves, understanding how to get those technical proposals or those documents to them, because that's very important in documents and being able to talk to your future clients. So it's going to be a whole lot of hands-on with this new program. That I am actually creating. Before it was just, we sit before each other and we go through a couple of steps here or there. We talk about, but I want to be a little more hands-on.
Okay.
I want to be on the other end listening to the call so I can say, okay, now next time let's try this. These are the words that you want to use when speaking to your next client.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah, and I'm even with a couple of my mentees, I've told them, if you're afraid or you're not ready to be contractors, let's go after these contracts. If I have to be a prime contractor and you a subprime, at least I want to see you make the money.
Okay, so you will partner with them.
I will partner with them.
Learn from you.
That's great.
And then you can let them go. That's beautiful.
That's great.
So how many are you looking for right now? If we were to put a call out to all of our networks and communities, how many new mentees could you bring on board?
The first group of mentees for the first, this program is going to be a 9-week program. I'm holding seats for 20.
20, okay.
Because that gives me enough that I can still work with them individually, that I'm not overwhelmed, and that I can still show attention to them without having too many.
Okay.
That's fantastic. That is absolutely awesome. Wow, we could talk to you forever. There is so much here. One quick question is in terms of training. So obviously on your admin side of things, you've got systems, you've got training that you offer your new recruits, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
And same thing would happen with anybody new who wants to be a mentee, who wants to go into the business. You've already got those systems in place.
Yes. So my mentee program is similar to me training my drivers, etc. Understanding procedures. Understanding
how it all works and connects.
How it all works. You can't run a successful business if you do not have those policies, procedures, and things in place.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what the drivers, you don't understand, you won't know your route. And if you don't understand where you're going, if you don't have a manifest before you.
Yes.
So that's a part of my trainings on both sides.
And as far as the virtual assistants, I'm assuming that you want to train them as well.
Yes, to understand the business. So that you're not blindsided, but just blindly sending out documents, because someone may contact you back to say, okay, what do I do for this? How do I do this? And if you are not equipped with the right knowledge and knowing the business,
There's a missed business opportunity there.
Missed, and then
Totally.
then it comes back to me. So now I'm still having to do
Do
what
it.
I'm asking you to do.
That's right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wow.
This is very exciting. We are excited to be part of your journey with everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you for being the example
Thank
of
you,
the
Sharnese.
possibility.
Oh, you're welcome. I am excited to be here. I am. I'm thankful to both of you for having me here. That I can not only tell a story, but possibly bring others on who have the same story, who just feel like I can do it now. They see a face that looks like them.
Yep.
That
It's
is so
important.
true.
Very important.
It's important.
Mhm.
Thank
So
you for
we've
the
had a
work
few
that you do,
people,
Sharnese.
You're welcome.
chiming in online. This is coming from LinkedIn. Thank you so much for your comment. Prepare all your documents, talk to all your clients. Those two things are very, very important.
Mhm.
Very, very true. Wonderful. So we'll be back again next week, everybody, with yet another amazing guest. But if you are a woman of color, at home at the moment, thinking of quitting your job, thinking of transitioning, and looking for an opportunity,
Mhm.
be it admin, a dispatcher, if you want a business opportunity to go into the transportation business, here is an opportunity for you.
Yes.
Reach out to us. We will connect you with Sharnese.
Yes.
I will also put her website with this podcast so you can reach out directly.
Yes.
It's important for us to help you, help yourselves to create the life that you want
Mhm.
and be empowered. You have a role model who has done it. I don't believe in reinventing the wheel. The wheel is
Right.
already out
Mhm.
there. All you have to do is take the wheel and drive your life in the direction that you want. Any parting thoughts for our ladies, Sharnese?
All I want to do, I want to tell ladies and women, you are not what society says you are, who society says you should be. The opportunities are there for you. All it takes is that one step.
Yes, that one step. Thank you.
Mhm. You're welcome.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you,
We'll be
Sharnese.
back again next week with yet another amazing guest. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and bye for now. And that's a wrap, everybody, on today's episode of the Diversity Connector podcast. Thank you for tuning in and being part of our vibrant and global conversation. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a tapestry of diverse perspectives. Remember, every story you've heard today is a thread in the larger fabric of our shared humanity. So, as you step back into your world, carry these stories with you and let them inspire you to embrace and celebrate the rich diversity around us. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these inspiring stories with more listeners. Do follow us on social media by looking for the Diversity Connector podcast for more updates. Until then, keep connecting, keep listening, and keep celebrating the beauty of diversity. This is the Diversity Connector podcast signing off. Stay curious, stay open, and definitely stay connected.